Inspired and tired, that's the gist of our podcast. Inspired, but we're tired. Should we create or should we take a nap?
Create.
Nap. We should definitely nap.
Chase, we're doing the show.
That's right. Of course we're doing the show. Yeah, no, that's what I said. Yeah. Inspired and Tired with your hosts, Chase and London. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Inspired and Tired with your hosts, Chase and London.
I'm London.
I'm Chase. And why don't you tell the listeners what we're doing here?
Well, every week we've been going through the book, The Artist's Way, to help us unlock our creativity and just learn some new tools to keep us creative. And I am beyond excited.
Why?
Because a little birdie told me it's week 12.
That means it's the final chapter.
Woo!
Really big accomplishment. I brought a Paloma.
To celebrate.
Now, how much alcohol is in a Paloma?
I mean, it usually says on the top of the can, but I'm not sure. Can't be too much.
1.5 shots.
Oh, more than I thought.
Well, we're splitting it. Oh,
That's fun.
It's 8% alcohol.
Okay.
Is that good?
Sounds good to me.
Is that what's wine?
I think wine's like 20.
No.
12.
No, beer is like 5 to 7, unless it's like a high grab, and then wine's a little bit more than that, like maybe 10%. Because isn't it like, a little wine
I
glass
think
of wine is going to be like a
12%.
big beer.
Well, we're a mix between
Okay.
a wine and a beer
Fine.
right now.
So we're having 4%
Sounds
between
good.
the two of us.
We're
Okay.
celebrating the little victories.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Week 12.
To week 12, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. I've never had one of these before.
It's a
Ooh, it's got a little kick.
it's a can.
It's that 4%. I know it's a can.
Well, for those that don't know.
Oh, for those that are listening.
It's a can.
It's a can. It's an orange can.
Okay. So,
Week 12.
per usual, I took lots of notes.
Same. How are you feeling going into week 12? Last week was a great week, I gotta say.
Yeah, I feel good going into week 12.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of us because we've talked about this before. The Artist's Way, when you're doing it, it's kind of known people drop out.
They stop. I'd say like week 8, week 9, week 7,
4.
week 4.
Yeah, it's very rare to get to week 12. So good job if you've been following along. And and also every chapter she has been repeating herself in slight ways. So there are a lot of repeats in this chapter.
But I think it's good to repeat because you need to hear things. What is it with marketing? You have to see it 8 times before
Is that
you
right?
watch the show.
Yeah.
So she's just really using some tactics in here to get us going.
Yeah. So, okay. The chapter title is Recovering a Sense of Faith.
And we address the fact that creativity requires profound trust.
Okay.
We got to trust.
Yes, exactly. It starts with a quote, "Adventures don't begin until you get into the forest, that first step in an act of faith." So,
That kind of reminds me of the slogan, like, jump and the net will appear. You kind of have to have faith that when you go off and you try something new, that something will catch you. And
yeah, you kind of just like, this chapter is like, okay, now go, because there's only so much.
you've done 11 weeks. It's time to go.
The first thing she talks about is resistance. Resistance to creativity manifests itself as sluggishness, confusion, I don't know,
Self-destruction.
depression.
Terrible.
The truth is, that's what she says. The truth is, you might say you don't know and, oh, I don't know, resistance is just, but really,
And I know the things I know.
I wrote that down too.
Yeah, that's the slogan we have to remember.
She said, here are some clearing affirmations. Anytime you're being sluggish, anytime you're having resistance, say the affirmation, I know the things I know, which that doesn't resonate with me.
It doesn't?
I'm glad it resonates with you.
It does. It's like, just accept where you're at in life. Like, don't get hard on yourself for not being good enough to do this, that, or the other. You just have to like trust, I know the things I know.
Oh, because the other
Get
one,
off my back.
I trust my own inner guide. I like that one better.
Yeah, what does that one make you think of?
That I like that my inner soul, whatever, my inner guide, I can trust it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, pretty much
She
what it
lays
says.
it out real nice and clean
Yeah.
there.
So those are things you can say to yourself when you're feeling resistance towards creativity.
I think I know the things I know rolls off the tongue real nice.
I know the things I know.
I know the things I know.
She says resistance is understandable. We bought the cultural message that we are meant to be dutiful, then die.
Dutiful?
What is the word? Dutiful?
I think it's dutiful.
I've never said dutiful.
No, never with the word die after it.
Beautiful, but dutiful. And okay, so that's what our culture says. Be dutiful and die.
Yikes.
And we believe that. And we're like, okay, I'm going to do what I'm told.
I'm going to go to work. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have the kids. And then I'm going to die.
The truth is that we are meant to be bountiful and live. The universe will always support affirmative action. Our truest dream for ourselves is always God's will for us. So follow your bliss and the doors open. That's kind of like jump in your life. And this is what I love. Here.
Yeah, it seems easy though. Follow your bliss and just good things will happen. But it was Steve Jobs at a commencement speech that he gave to Harvard. And he
said, doesn't say this in here.
No, I'm adding this.
Okay.
He said, do what you love and that's when good things happen. And it's kind of that sort of outlook on life. Like if you're doing what you love and you're doing what makes you happy, then, doors will open.
In here, she says it's Joseph Campbell.
Well,
that says,
I like Steve Jobs.
Follow your bliss. Doors will open where there were no doors before. It's the inner commitment to be true to ourselves and follow our dreams that triggers in support of the universe. That's beautiful.
It is, and I feel like it's true.
I believe it's true, and we'll get into this in the exercises, but it's very scary to actually live it. But yeah, trust the theme. But it's beautiful.
Well, because how in the world are doors going to be opening if you're upset and angry and unhappy?
They won't.
They won't. You're not going to find no door. You're stuck. So you might as well try to do what you love.
I mean, yeah. You might as well try.
This is all about action steps this week.
Yeah.
We're making things happen.
She says too, this is something else I wrote down. I want to say it. Tell me if this is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
When we're ambivalent, the universe will also be ambivalent. Once we trigger an internal yes by affirming our truest goals and desires, the universe mirrors and then expands. So when we are just like wishy-washy and I don't know, maybe this is what I want, maybe the universe is also going to be wishy-washy. But the second you're like, hell yeah.
This is what I'm doing. I'm clear on my path.
I'm going to wash
the
curtains because Julia loves washing curtains in this book. The universe is going to be, here are some free curtains for you.
Exactly. And we've talked about this before, like with you and the robes. And if you put something out there, things are going to come our way. So the flow through our lives will be characterized by spurts of abundance and long spells of drought.
That's when you're ambivalent.
Yep.
That's not when you're a hell yes.
Well,
it
stuck out to me.
Did you notice once you made a hell yes on your artistic journey that the universe opened up doors?
Definitely, but I find the hard part is to figure out, what do I actually love? What do I actually want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's, you're like, okay, I'm just going to do what I love. It's like, well, let me first get clear on what I love so that those doors can actually open.
This is what my therapist told me to do today.
What?
She said I got to get so clear.
Yeah, you got to get clear.
I was thinking maybe I want to dance in a parade at Disneyland.
That's what Chase just told me on the car ride here. She wants to be a princess at Disneyland all of a sudden. Where did this come from?
I'm trying to get clear.
Well, this passion just all of a sudden bubbled up.
No, I was at Universal Studios yesterday. And I was envious of the performers there.
Which performer did you love the most?
There was a show called Water World.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, you've been?
Oh, yeah. That's a great show.
Oh, my gosh. Was I jealous of those performers? They're like jet skiing and they're like...
Oh, I've seen it. Now
diving.
That you say it. Oh, that's a great
Now,
show.
listen, I wouldn't be cast in that. I know that's not my forte. But I was like, man, like there were the Hogwarts performers in that section.
Harry Potter World.
Yes. And then I was like, well, that's kind of like at Disneyland with the parades, and they're just dancing in the parades.
And you're like,
and they get paid really well.
Really?
Oh, yes. They have a great hourly rate.
I'm sure they have healthcare.
They're making people happy.
Yeah.
And so
you get to wear fun outfits.
I think that's following my bliss. It is a long drive.
It's a long drive, and
the parking is a disaster.
I bet they have crew parking at Disneyland.
I wouldn't have to go with the
yeah,
the
you wouldn't
tourists.
have to pay daily.
Yeah, I hear working at Disney's great.
Yeah,
all those commercials about it.
So it's hard. It's hard to figure out what you love.
So yeah, anyways, that's something. I looked today for auditions at Disneyland.
No, you
so
didn't.
Why I said princess is because Rapunzel, they are auditioning for Rapunzel.
I bet it's a tough gig to get now with the strike.
Apparently it is a tough gig to get. Thousands. People, because you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year being a princess.
That does sound pretty nice.
Okay.
Okay.
All I'm saying.
Okay.
So,
interesting.
Anyways, I looked it up.
That much?
Mm-hmm. I know.
Okay.
Average 85,000 to 120,000.
That's a pretty good gig.
I know. Same with these Waterworld performers.
Wow.
I know.
I'm speechless.
So, anyways, that's just something.
That's
I'm getting
latest
clear
on what you want to do.
I know I like to perform.
Yep,
I'm
we know
getting
that.
clear on the type of performing.
Well, you like to get paid to perform.
Sure, who doesn't?
Yeah, you get to make people happy. I still think this requires a little more self-discovery before going straight in. But
guess what? My little sensor that Julia talks about goes,
ticking?
You're too old.
Oh,
You're
come
too
on.
old to be at Disneyland. You should have done that in high school, is what my sensor's telling me.
There is a slight chance.
Because in high school, because I went to a performing arts high school that was
very close
in Orange
to
County.
Disneyland.
It was like they would come to our school and like scout the dancers out to be in the parade. So I'm a little late.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, that's just a side note. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So I think just to button that one up.
Sure.
You got to make lists of all the things you love to do.
Oh, yeah.
And what is consistently repeated and always on your list, whether it be for a month or maybe a little more, that's perhaps the passion you should follow.
London's saying this out of experience.
Yes.
When she was unclear.
Crocheting was
back
always...
in 2012, she made all these lists, and she always said crochet at the top of her list.
At the top.
And then she became a professional crocheter, which is a rare job.
So when you do what you love, though... then you're able to follow through. But it's the clarity that's the tough part.
Yeah. So anyways, morning pages. There's tactics in here on how to get clear.
Yep.
The next little section is mystery.
Oh, I loved this. And let me just kick off mystery with an Albert Einstein quote that's in the book.
Sure.
The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious.
That is a beautiful quote.
I know.
Theodore Roosevelt. Oh, no. Theodore Rothstein.
Oh, yeah. Close, but not.
What shakes the eye but the invisible?
Ooh.
Oh, these are so deep.
Oh, these are deep.
Do not fear mistakes. There are none.
Oh.
Miles Davis.
Gosh, just a reason to buy the book is for the quotes.
Every page has a different quote.
Now, when we go to mystery, I thought we'd call it cozy mystery. I thought that would make it a little more fun. So the cozy mystery of our creativity begins in darkness.
Creativity begins in darkness.
Very mysterious. Right
just
from the start.
Like she says, like a baby.
Just like a baby.
Is in the womb, in the dark, as is our inner artist who's a child.
And then we come to light.
Well, she says ideas or brain children cannot be dragged from the creative womb.
I know. It's dark.
Too prematurely.
Oh, no.
Wait for them to hatch.
Oh.
So it's a very graphic description.
It is, but it really is it puts the point on the nose.
Creativity is an act of surrender, not control. Trust the darkness. Trust the creative process. Don't force it.
And what I like is like bright ideas are preceded by periods of like murkiness, but then the light bulb goes off.
You misinterpreted what she was saying.
Is that not how we're supposed to
No,
think?
she's saying creativity begins in darkness.
Yep.
And we need
Pulled from the womb.
We need to acknowledge this. All too often we think only in terms of light. And then the light bulb went off and I got it. That's not how we're supposed to think.
Okay.
So she's saying that's a no-no.
Okay.
And
So
you're
we're supposed to stay in the murky,
Stay
dark,
in the dark.
cold.
And not all of a sudden it's going to come in like waves and just like surrender and just watch the waves. And it's not going to be.
All of a sudden the light bulb
Yeah.
goes. All right.
So
we're
you
in
got
the
that
Pirates
wrong.
of
You
the
got that
Caribbean
wrong.
ride. Okay.
Okay. We need to trust the darkness. We need to learn to gently mull instead of turning away like a little engine on a straight path ahead.
I like it though. Like we have to learn to not pull our ideas up by the roots to see if they're growing.
Yeah,
Like,
she does a lot of metaphors.
You can't check in on that. Like the plant, you got to trust that it's going to grow and it'll get there.
Yeah, she uses the plant metaphor and you can't like pull the roots. And then she uses baking. You can't like
Yes.
put a cake in the oven and dough and you can't pull
take-
it out and poke at it.
You can't take the cake out too soon. There'll be a hole. But I was thinking about it with the baking. Everybody during COVID was doing the sourdough starters.
Yes.
And I was like, during COVID, we had time to be in that darkness, just be with our thoughts. And it was a very creative time, I feel like,
For a lot of people. Not for me.
Excuse me.
London, not
Chase,
for me.
Why not?
I was so busy. I've never been busier
Well, that is
than when I was in COVID.
that is a very dangerous thing to do at that time.
I was working on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yep.
I was nannying.
Yep.
I was like trying to, first of all, I was going to every Zoom brunch
And wedding.
and Zoom
Yeah.
wedding. I was like making content. I was like, I've never been busier.
So when you look back at that time, were you not like, I was actually being quite creative and
No.
like, really?
I look back at that time like the most stressful time of my life, which I guess a lot of people do.
A lot of people
But
do.
I'm really envious of the people that look back at that time and they were making bread.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that's so lovely.
Or creating or discovering hobbies.
They were
and
gardening.
They were doing
yeah,
that. And
I'm
that's
so
a very good thing to do when it comes
It
to
is.
Julia and the
It
Artist's
is.
Way.
The truth is that this is how to raise the best ideas. Let them grow in the dark. Let them form on the roof of our consciousness. Let them hit the page in droplets. Trusting this slow and seemingly random drip will be startled one day by the flash of, oh, that's it.
And that's it.
Maybe that is your light bulb. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's a slow, it's a dimmer.
Yeah.
It's a dimmer switch going on.
Okay. Next.
Imagination at play.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I loved this one.
Me too.
Can
Art
I say
with a
it?
capital T that rhymes with P.
No, art with a capital A. That stands for pool.
She
Okay.
says art should not be with a capital A.
No, don't take
It's
it so
fun.
serious.
Art's just somebody my sister used to date.
That's what she says.
Yeah.
Art's someone my sister used today.
So much fun. You got to keep it light.
When stuck, do a hobby.
Yep.
This is the main thing from this section.
I would say so.
She said she tells all her students if they're stuck on a plot line, then sew,
Go to the garden.
Creativity is play, and you're going to find once you actually do a hobby that you're not like, I have to get this right, the ideas are going to come. And I loved this.
I did too, and it almost made me start thinking, like, instead of me saying I got to go to work today,
I got to go to play today.
I got to go play.
Oh, I love
Yeah, I
that.
think people will give me a little side eye because it's like,
I got to go play today.
sorry, can't go out. I got to play.
I got to play.
I got to play. So we're just
Yeah.
supposed to have fun with
Well,
it and
I
hobbies.
know.
And we think about hobbies or something like once you retire, I'll get some hobbies. But no.
Yeah, like it just made me think about, I think I'm always like when I'm being creative, it's always writing. It's always like, okay, and it's a chore and it's like, this is what I have to do. But I do wonder if I was like, okay, today
I'm going to mend.
I'm going to garden
Yeah.
for 3 hours. I wonder what insights I would have because there wouldn't be any stress attached to it. It would literally just be fun.
It's kind of like artist dates.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an artist date.
Yes. But like incorporating something that we do consistently that we love.
Yeah. Yeah. She says spiritual benefits accompany the practice of a hobby. There is a release into humility that comes from doing something by rote. As we serve our hobby, we are freed from our ego's demands and allowed the experience of merging with the greater source. So listen, that sounds really good to me.
I agree. How do we allow ourselves to make time for our hobbies? That's the question, right?
That's the question. Time.
So even if it's on a weekend, like a Sunday.
Weekends, I'm so booked.
Yeah, you're
I'm booked and busy.
Hmm.
Yeah. I feel like it has to be just the same way we're scheduling in time for our artist date. It might just be that.
Time we schedule in for hobbies.
What hobbies do you have?
Well, gardening has been a big one for me, and I actually kind of do it every morning. The Artist Way has taught me that. Week 12, we're here, and I've been writing about gardening and repotting plants, and
Really?
it's definitely become a morning routine for me.
Really?
I check on the peppers. I check on the... We even have tomato plants, Chase.
Oh, London doesn't like tomatoes.
I hate
She's scared of tomatoes.
I water them last. But I check on them. And
I wonder why you have tomatoes. Danny?
Danny.
Oh.
Yeah. My fiance likes them.
Okay, fine.
But it's a fun little banter.
What do you mean?
Well, he's always like, "Are the tomatoes ready?" And I'm like, "You check." I don't want to tell you nothing about those tomatoes. But creativity must be freed from the narrow perimeters of capital A art.
Okay. Yeah, I think you want to know what's so funny?
What?
Before this, I'll get to it during the homework assignment,
Okay.
and I won't forget. It's about gardening.
Oh.
Okay.
She loves gardening. Truly, gardening and mending are the two hobbies she suggests the most out of anything to get your creative juices flowing.
Mending is like sewing.
It's like sewing. Yeah.
She
gives some examples. Like I used to tap dance. I know you can't believe that now, but I was something.
That's what I starred.
Yeah.
I thought that was so funny.
So going back to those things.
Well, she just says that like when you're doing your morning pages, when you're in your hobby, you're going to remember flashes of things. Oh, I forgot all about the skits I wrote when I was 10. Oh, I remember.
suddenly remember I played Ingenue.
No, London, Antigone.
Who's Antigone?
It's a famous character in a play.
Wow. I never played Antigone.
Antigone, what did you call her?
I thought it was like the lead ingenue.
Ingenue.
Yeah. I don't do theater, okay?
But yeah, my favorite was I used to tap dance. I know you can't believe it now, but
I was something.
And it's true. London used to tap dance.
We both were something.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Creativity is always trying to break through. So basically what she's saying is like, even if you are not being creative, your creativity is going to do whatever it can. Like you're going to be in a boring meeting and you're going to draw a crazy doodle. You're going to post a silly postcard on your bulletin board at work. You're going to come up with a name for your evil boss. And like you're going to be creative without even knowing it, because your creativity is trying so hard to be seen and be known. So that was something she said. And we want to do something, but we think it needs to be the right something.
But we're just intended to create. So even refurbishing a dowdy kitchen, tying bows on a holiday cat, experimenting with better soup are all ways to be creative.
Throwing out mismatched socks. Like they're the tiniest little things. She says life is meant to be an artist date. That's why you were created. So all these little things are just like adding up to be your artist date, to be creative.
Okay, this just reminded me. Remember that book you were telling me about the guy who just like did things?
The Surrender Experiment?
Yes. So this
What
kind
would you
of,
like to know?
Well, I just think maybe share a little bit about it, because when you look at this and it's like my life is supposed to be an artist date. It's like, can I realistically survive if I'm just tying bows on a cat and like remembering my tap dancing days? But this guy in the Surrender Experiment,
Michael Singer,
actually did that and is like a billionaire.
Oh my gosh, I can't recommend this book enough. It's called The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer, who he wanted to dedicate his life to spirituality. And he like at age 20 moved into the woods and just like sat in meditation. And he just like built a little home. And what he this book is about him like just following what life put in front of him and
saying yes,
and he did it to the best of his ability, but without any stakes or pressure. He wasn't like, I have to be the best at this. Just opportunities would come to him, and he would fully be present with them, and he wouldn't say no. He was like, life is just a flow, and I'm going to say yes to whatever comes. And the book takes him all the way to being the CEO of this tech company. He became a billionaire.
What was the tech company? It's like
it was for
better, not Better Health, but like
it was for all the like doctor, like Blue Anthem, all the insurance companies.
Yeah.
He created their software.
But he started out as like a yoga teacher.
He started out just meditating, and then people would come and listen to his meditation talks, and then people saw that he built his home, so then people came to him and asked him to build their homes, and he started this hugely successful construction business. But he was never trying to do any of this. He just, the way he became the head of this tech company,
he was just good at computers, and people wanted tech support. And then,
well, he went to Radio Shack, and bought a computer. He thought it was interesting, and he started playing around with it. That was just something he did for fun. And when he went back to Radio Shack, they were like, oh, you know how to program? He's like, yeah. And they're like, can we have you help these people? They don't know how to do it. And he said yes, because he's just saying yes to the flow of life. And one thing led to the other. Let me tell you.
It's amazing.
It made me really like just show up what's being asked of you. The universe is just like, you know, it's just a flow of life, and you can't put any pressure on it. Just do the best you can.
Right after you had told me about this book, I was in Joshua Tree, and I got all these little taps. People were like, oh, we're selling houses. You should look at this house. People moved here. They're like, this is the most fun place to live. And I was like, am I getting signs? Should I just buy a house in Joshua Tree? I didn't.
Yeah, you should have.
I know. Maybe I should have. I don't know how it'd be going now. But
anyways, I'm someone that like reads a book and it like resonates so much. Unless I take notes like this with The Artist's Way, I have a very hard time articulating it back.
But that's the gist of it. It's like,
go ahead and read the book if that sounds interesting to you.
Because it truly is exactly what she's saying about just life as an artist date, and take those things that you enjoy doing, and those opportunities will come.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last section of this chapter is escape velocity. And it's basically saying that
I love this.
Right before you're going to get the thing that you're wanting, there's going to be a test. The universe provides a test.
Someone's going to come back at like right before you're getting married. That poisonous ex is going to come back into your life and make a call. Right before a big opportunity comes, you pick up the phone and call someone who isn't a positive support in your life and will talk you out from even going.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of times we'll get distracted by someone's going to offer you a lot of money. So that's a big test, because you're like, oh,
you were going to quit your job,
you were going to quit, but now
you got a pay raise, and
now there's money. Or like your boss is like the worst, but they're flattering you and telling you, oh, you're the best at this, and we're so lucky to have you. And it's this, you're going to like call on this test that once you pass it, then the life of your dreams will appear.
I think so. I think it's that easy. But she says
it's that easy.
The test always happens.
Yeah. Julia says it always happens.
And I find this to happen when I'm finally starting to, work on my crochet empire of having my own line of crochet hooks and yarn. And then all of a sudden a really big opportunity from a brand comes in, and I'm like, all right, screw my goals. I'm going for that one job that's going to like pay the bills for a couple weeks, and then I'll get back to what, I really want to do later.
You think those are tests?
I think they're tests, and I've been failing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen tests in your life pop up?
Absolutely, but I'm not as clear as you. So
I feel like sometimes your tests have to do with the social plans. I'm going to say no to everything, and then sure enough, 25 text messages of asking you to hang out tomorrow, and you say yes to them all.
Mm-hmm. That happened this month.
Yep.
This whole month. I was so good at saying no in July.
Yeah.
And now I'm saying yes again, and it's just, I haven't been passing the test.
Yeah.
It's a lot of I noticed that I'm saying yes to a lot of, excuse me, the Paloma. I'm saying yes to a lot of things that I should do, like an opportunity at the Hollywood Improv, or like a guest on a podcast, or a spot at like the Mothership, which is the new club in Austin. These are like things that are like, oh, I should say yes to it. So there's like, it's very hard because these opportunities are so big that I'm like, why am I saying no?
Exactly.
It is
hard.
I have to get a lot clearer because I'm saying yes.
Yeah.
Why was I saying no before? Was I tired? Like, I just have to get.
I think the thing to be able to figure out to get clear would be like, say yes, but then when you go and actually do that particular activity, take note. Are you leaving filled with joy, or are you leaving like, was it fun?
Oh.
Did you enjoy that show at the Mothership, or did you not? Did you enjoy this opportunity, or did you not? And you can even keep like a little journal of all these things and then be able to look back and reflect at the data.
So are you saying Julia says we need to enjoy everything?
I think yes.
Because I think back to what society says, that we are dutiful and then die. I've always been like, you're not supposed to enjoy work.
Life is an artist state, honey.
Like, I have really bad stand-up shows and cry after, but like, that's part of the process, I thought. What do you think to that?
I don't ever like to see you cry. So I would think like, if you are leaving, let's say, every stand-up show in tears, that's probably a sign. But you don't leave every stand-up show in tears. Like, I saw you the other day and you did great and it was so fun and you went on to enjoy your night.
Yeah.
Unless you cried in the car.
No.
Okay, then we're good.
No, I didn't.
So I think just taking note of those opportunities, and if consistently...
How much are you crying versus how much are you enjoying?
How much are you crying versus how much are you smiling?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The crying should not outweigh the smiling.
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Okay, good to know.
That's
okay.
not. So pretty much how to, keep these tests from happening, or how you pass
how to
the
pass
test.
a test. You're going to call the test is going to happen.
It's going to happen. But to avoid that, you zip the lip, you button up, keep a lid on it, and don't give away the gold.
What she's saying is make sure, like, you're your own inner counsel. Talk it out with yourself. Don't always be like, because your inner artist is a child. It wants mommy. So anytime you're like making a decision or this or that, you're going to call mommy or whoever.
Is a wet blanket.
You're going to call your friend, and you need to you zip the lip, whatever she says.
Yep.
You don't tell people, because that's going to sway your decision. You have to get very clear within yourself. You have to make the decision yourself. London, you're someone that I can call and it's not going to sway me.
Right. You need to be knowing who is supportive and who is not.
You have to get clear on who's supportive and who's not, and who you're allowed to tell and who you should not tell.
And a lot of times we tell the person we should not tell because subconsciously we're sabotage.
So just don't tell people things.
Yeah. Zip the lip. Yeah.
Don't do it. Okay. So
that's pretty much
she says, set your goals, set your boundaries. And Julia adds, set your sights and don't let the ogre that looms on the horizon deflect your flight.
There we go.
She's so creative with her language.
Mothers and ogres.
Oh, she really. She gets the creative juices flowing in this book. And that's the end.
That's chapter 12.
Of chapter 12.
So that's been 3 months of the Artist's Way, but we do have to go through our tasks.
We do. And like sometimes when you are in the Artist's Way, it's not like it's this epiphany and you're like suddenly fixed and everything's right in the world. Like there's still more work to be done.
Oh yeah.
So this is
but
just
it's a good
the
start.
beginning.
She says to keep rereading this, which
I
we
know.
do.
That's one of the exercises for our tasks.
The last task is reread this book.
Reread this book. So
chapter 13. Go back to chapter 1.
Yep.
Okay, so homework assignment number 1: write down any resistance, angers, and fears you have about going on from here.
We all have them.
Do you?
Yeah, I said my fear is that I will not stay focused on these tools and fall back into my normal pattern.
Oh, London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's scary.
know.
We have to remember all
I'm
this.
so sorry.
That's
My
all right.
fear is that I will follow my truth, but it won't be supported by the universe like Julia says.
Oh, gosh.
I know.
no.
Can you believe?
Oh,
I know. It's terrible.
it's terrible.
I'm going to have faith, but then I'm going to be disappointed. That's what worries me.
And like, if it doesn't work out there, though, we have to believe that that wasn't the path that's meant to be, right? And then you just go to the Disney princess thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You got to back up.
But I guess this exercise is just showing you, like, acknowledge your fears, get it on paper. Write down your current areas of procrastination, the payoffs in waiting, and locate your hidden fears. Do you have any?
I did. I kind of brought it up earlier about building my own craft brand. I mean, I want my own line of hooks, own yarn. I would take scissors, hot glue guns, glue sticks, all the crafts. I want to be like Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You've been
Like,
saying this for years.
years. I've created presentations. I've done lookbooks about this. But my payoff is, I mean, yeah, the payoff of not doing it is I can fail.
Well, the payoff is you won't fail if you don't do it.
Exactly. I won't have to invest a lot of money because I feel like it takes money to start that. And it'll take a lot of my time, and then I won't be able to do other things.
Like what? Garden?
Garden, for one. Those big brand jobs that like are easy and that I've gotten very comfortable with. But through this book, I mean, was it last week where we talked about how you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again after a certain amount of time?
Yeah.
That's not going to work anymore. So setting myself up with something that could like
Yeah.
propel me in the future is a good thing. What's something that is in your area of
I've been writing this
procrastination?
Christmas script since 2020. So that's a procrastination. The payoff is like I have free time, so I can do things that people want me to do. The hidden fears is it won't work. I'll find out I'm not really talented.
I gotta let you guys in on a secret, though.
What?
This script is good.
Oh.
I love it.
Oh, that's
There's
so nice.
songs,
London.
there's dancing, there's comedy, there's...
Well, it's a
good.
musical.
It's so good.
Okay, that's very nice.
I
London.
love it.
Thank you. Okay, continued affirmations. It says, read yourself the affirmations from week 1. Write some affirmations about your continued creativity as you end the course. So I wrote some affirmations.
As did I.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, I did some of mine that are just favorites from the book itself. I am enough. Treating myself like a precious object makes me strong. This one I came up with on my own. I have a constant flow of creative ideas. I love the process of creating art. Lowercase a.
Wow, beautiful.
What about you?
I did all of mine in what ifs
Oh,
because
the curiosity.
Yeah, I did. I've been told from a manifestation coach that when you phrase an affirmation in a what if statement, your brain allows it to like digest, and it's like curious instead of just like I am this, and your brain goes, no, you're not. So if you phrase it in a what if, your brain allows you to feel it.
I've been doing that every time I go to ballet and I have to do a left turn pirouette. I'm like, what if I stick that turn? It's way more fun.
Okay, I said, what if I'm going to be financially okay? What if success didn't matter? What if I let creativity be fun? What if I didn't have any pressure? What if I was loved regardless of what I created? That sounds a little dark.
Come on, girl. You are loved no matter what you create.
I know, reading it back, man, I'm saying this on a podcast.
It does make it really fun saying what if before. It does make it like,
What would
more
that
of
feel
like
like?
a, what if?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah. What if I treated myself like a precious
What
object?
would that feel
Oh, precious.
like?
Oh, I love this one.
Mend any
mending.
mending. I didn't know what to do with that.
Well, I crocheted today. So what I took mend any mending was also just like little tasks that you could complete. Like, I restocked my glue sticks. I scheduled some appointments. I called back some pending voicemails.
Oh,
like
you
just,
did your to-dos.
Yeah, I mended some mending. Nothing hard.
Got it. I didn't get what that meant.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything. I just wrote mend any mending.
Okay.
Okay.
This one's fun too.
Repot any pinched and languishing plants. This is what I wanted to say about gardening.
Tell me.
Okay. Before I knew this was a homework assignment, I did it. And I have a friend of a friend who I watch The Bachelor with her every now and then. And on ABC. And she, shout out, she says that she wants to become someone that helps people with plants. Like she wants to be a plant person.
A gardener?
No. Like she wants to like
Landscaper?
help people like fix their plants, like if they're not doing well, how to take care of them, repot them, whatever.
Okay.
So I reached
Gardener.
a gardener. Is that what it is? Okay. So I reached out to her and I asked her if she could come over and help me with my plants. It's the Paloma.
It's the Paloma.
I asked her if she could help me with some of my plants that weren't doing well.
Yeah.
And literally, like, I repotted a couple plants. We cut my rose bushes so that they would grow again.
Yeah.
And I did all that without knowing this was the homework assignment.
That's so sweet. And how are they doing?
Well, it's only been a day.
Okay.
I did these exercises this
In
morning.
the car.
But I was like, oh, already done.
That's very fun. I mean, it's nice. It is relaxing with the plants. I say hi. Have I told this podcast I have 2 Venus flytraps?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You say hi to them every day?
Of course, Venus and Serena.
I gotta say, because this morning I went back outside and was like cutting some plants, and I don't think I love it as much as you love it because the second I move the pot, worms crawl out.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that doesn't happen to you?
No.
Worms. Every time worms crawl out.
Where are you moving the pot? Is it from the ground? You're scooching it?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Like, and I water, and then all the bugs come out, leave.
Out of the soil?
I don't know where they're hiding. I don't love that. I get really nervous. I get really grossed out.
I don't love that either.
So that's why I'm not maybe the biggest fan of it.
Yeah. Because then if you are mending, well, no, we're not mending plants. We're repotting. You have to put your hands in.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
She did that for me. I didn't do it.
Okay.
So.
Well, it's supposed to be relaxing. And if that doesn't work for you, there's other hobbies.
Okay. But I want my roses to be pretty.
Yeah. Pruning roses, though, you don't have to stick your hands in the dirt. You just kind of trim and cut.
Then they were all, I was sticking my hand in the dirt. But.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6, select a God jar. A what? A jar. A box. A vase. A container. Something to put your fears, your resentments, your hopes, your dreams, your worries into. So once you've selected that jar, number 7 says, use your God jar. Start with your fear list from task 1 above. When worried, remind yourself it's in the jar. God's got it. Then take the next action. So that's a fun little assignment.
It is. At one point, when we were doing the Artist Way before, we were together when we collaged the jars.
Yeah.
I still have this like big collage jar with all these just like positive things on it. And I wouldn't do this exactly with putting fears in it. I would put every day what I'm grateful for that happened that day. And it was so much fun looking back over the course of like a year of every day writing 3 things I was grateful for and sticking it in the jar.
And then on New Year's, you take it all out.
You take it out and you look at it and you're able to like recap your year. And so you can use your God jar however you want. And I love it.
I didn't do a jar this time. I was like, because I just don't know if I'm actually going to do that. I was like, maybe I can draw a jar in a notebook and like write the things inside of the jar. I've been trying to, or like maybe like, on my collage app, I collage, like I get a picture of a jar and then I collage different things in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get creative.
I thought that too with this one because I don't like the idea of like writing fears down on paper. I'd rather put positive things down on paper, but There's no right or wrong way to do
okay,
any
there's
of
no
these.
right or wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 8. Now check how. Honestly, what would you most like to create? Open-minded, what oddball paths would you dare to try? Willing, what appearances are you willing to shed to pursue your dream? So
What do you have?
I put tea ceremonies on YouTube.
We've gone for Disney princesses.
I gotta get clear. I'm all over the place. I would love to do tea ceremonies on YouTube.
Now, haven't you tried that?
Have I?
I know you've watched them.
There's no. It's an untapped market.
What?
Don't take my idea.
Don't people like read the tea leaves and
on YouTube?
yeah?
Show me a video.
Okay.
There's a lot of Japanese tea ceremonies, but
Okay.
there's not like a tea ceremony that you can like put on and in real time do it with the person.
Oh, you do it with them. So you imagine like,
Yoga with Adrian, but I'm leading a tea ceremony.
so hi everyone, welcome to the
Welcome
tea
to the tea
ceremony for
ceremony.
the day.
This morning we're gonna be
Drinking jasmine.
Yeah. So heat up your tea. I'll wait.
I hear the longer the video, the more views.
Yeah.
Wait.
And then I'd be like, okay, breathe in, smell the tea leaves, set your intention for just lead someone through a tea ceremony.
Okay. And then drink the tea and then breathe and
Listen, it's happening. It's going to happen. I just don't know when and if this is the right path.
well,
But
let me say I love it.
You do.
Because I am in your supportive corner of people you can go to
there we
with
go.
any
Thank
idea,
you.
and I will not shut it down.
Thank you.
I say record that video and I will watch.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I love that.
Devin and I recorded one when we were together, but I have to edit it. It's
That's
a big
the
U-turn
trouble.
right now that I haven't.
Yeah.
Because there's no space on my computer. That's an excuse, but I need to
Yep.
clear some space off.
Yep.
All right, what's the one thing you want to do?
Okay. So this is a little, I don't know if I've ever told you about but I would love to crochet murals around the world with a deeper purpose focused on climate, where I would crochet the current landscape in a particular environment and then over time be able to chart the global warming impact of that location, and you could reflect on the crochet mural that was. So in like 100 years, people would be coming to this site being like, wow, there were polar bears here.
You have told me about this.
Uh-huh.
That's great, London.
Yeah,
You want to make an impact.
I want to make an impact.
You want to show people in 100 years what the Earth looked like today.
I just
through
want
the
to do
eyes of
something
crochet.
deeper. But yeah.
That's beautiful.
And I'm willing to shed doing what others expect. Do what you love and the money will follow. I wouldn't even do this for money, though. I'd just do it.
Beautiful. Well, you should say that about your craft line. You wouldn't do it for money. You would just do it.
Oh, that's for money, baby.
Okay. List 5 people you can talk to about your dreams and with whom you feel supported to dream and then plan. So do that. London's on my list.
You're on my list.
And then chapter 10, reread this book.
I love it.
Share it with a friend. Remember that the miracle is one artist sharing with another. Trust God. Trust yourself. Good luck. And God bless you.
Ah,
Cheers.
cheers.
That's the artist way, baby.
I can't believe it. It's like, oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
I feel good. Like what we were saying last week, it hits you different every time.
Yeah, a lot of things hit me different this time.
The end of the chapters this time were more impactful than the beginning.
It gives you a creative contract to do at the end.
Right.
Basically it says like, my name is blank. I commit to doing the morning pages for another 90 days. I commit to doing the artist date for another 90 days. I commit to following this one creative goal. And it
asks you, my specific commitment for the next 90 days is to allow myself to more fully explore. What did you write?
Well, I signed this in 2014.
What did you write in 2014?
Sketch comedy.
And?
It still kind of resonates.
Oh.
Because one of the things I feel like I could be doing more of is like making sketches and put them on Reels and TikTok.
I said to allow myself to more fully explore the fun of crochet. Take the work out of it.
Yeah, I think if I was going to do it right now, it would be allow myself to play. I think in 2014 when I made this, it was like, get down to business.
Do this.
I have to do this. I have to be successful
30.
by the time I'm 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. This time is more like, okay, just relax.
Yeah.
Just have fun. Yeah.
And then it says, for the next 90 days, my planned self-nurturing creative action plan is, I wrote, enjoy the process.
And in 2014, I wrote to take action, don't care.
Oh, yeah, you were.
I was taking
You
action.
were going.
I guess now the plan is to like relax.
I love it.
And in 2014, I wrote, I have chosen London as my creative colleague and London as my creative backup.
I got a double.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're still the one.
Yeah. I mean,
You're still the one I want. Oh.
I'll support you no matter what you do.
Thank
I'm
you.
here for you. And then you sign the contract, you date it, and that's
You
it.
keep going for 90 days.
Yeah. It's only a 90-day contract, honestly. That's a little quicker than I thought.
Yeah, it's a 90-day contract.
It's just as
What
long
is
as
that?
it takes for you
3
to
months?
reread the reread The Artist's Way again.
Wow, another. Look at this book.
It is
I mean,
tattered.
it's tattered beyond tattered.
Yours is more tattered than mine, but that's because, okay, here's a little reflection. So I had been listening to the audiobook always for this. The book was just a companion to look at the exercises. I have to say, you should read the book, because about week 6, week 7, I started actually reading the book compared to listening to the audiobook. It was a much fuller experience.
Wow, and that's coming from London, who does not read.
No.
Wow.
The chapters aren't that long. It's fine. And it's much better. Because the audiobook, her voice is a little annoying.
It's so hard to listen
It
to.
puts me not in a great mood.
I
And I'm
know.
like, the Artist's Way should be fun.
That's why I can't listen to it.
I got to hear my own internal thoughts about this, not Julia's, even though we recap her every single day. But yeah, so I do think reading it is the best way to go. And
Yeah, I think, okay, as a takeaway, I want to say the main thing I've noticed this time around doing it is how much emphasis on play there is, how much emphasis there is on hobbies, on picking up an exercise like swimming or running, on just doing little mundane things like cleaning out your closet. That is all creativity. And this book is definitely about like taking those small creative action steps that will eventually lead you to the big thing that you want, but finding the joy in the little acts of creativity is what like stood out to me.
that's beautiful.
Did you do an artist date this week?
You know what?
I don't think I did.
You put
either.
me on the spot. I'm like,
I didn't
do one
intentionally do
mindfully.
one.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I could think right now.
We could make one up that I was alone and I
did
cooked.
this.
I made tuna,
Yeah.
but I made tuna today
Did you?
from a can.
I mean, anything could be an artist date, but
But I don't count it as an artist date unless I'm
unless you
intentional.
thoughtfully do it.
And
And
so like
that's
I'm carving out 30 minutes right now to do this for myself.
exactly. Yeah, the artist dates, the morning pages, things just need to stick, but I can't believe we did it.
I know. I'm very proud of us.
Me too.
Thank you so much for listening, and you've been following along.
And if you haven't listened to all the chapters, or if in the future you decide to do the Artist's Way, go on back to week 1 and listen throughout the podcast, because each week we go through exactly the lessons we've learned, and would love to hear your experience as well doing that.
As you've noticed, we're very honest. We've been sharing our real answers.
Yeah, we have. But
So it might help you is what I'm saying.
exactly.
Okay, so this is very exciting, but we're going to be moving on to another book.
We are. So tune in next week.
Oh,
'cause
should I
we're-
not reveal it?
No, not yet. Because
Okay.
we're going to go through that. There's a little more of the Artist's Way. There's an epilogue. There's some recapping to do. And then we'll start our next book. And
we're going to be so creative.
I know.
I'm just so excited.
I am too, because I'm excited that we're going to be able to take what we learned from the Artist's Way and implement that into whatever knowledge we learn from the next book as well. It's like we're not starting from scratch. We now have like a good foundation to kick things off.
What if we're just doing the Artist's Way again? Because that's what she said. She tells us to do
That's what she said. So get ready for round 2.
All right. Well, can we chug this?
Yeah.
Are you feeling tipsy?
No, but this was making my stomach gurgle.
Oh.
But here we go.
Ready and go. Done.
Done.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Woo! Oh, subscribe. Comment. Write a review. What else?
Share.
Like.
Ditto.
All right. Bye. Ditto. It's the wrong way to put it. Okay. Thank you.